Welcome everyone to Wizards Outlook. Joined as always, we got Raymond Lyons, Cardo W. Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr., and if you hadn't heard, John Wall returned to DC for the first time with fans. So I'm sure the energy was great in there. That said, the Clippers rally, close out the Wizards late. They beat them 114 to 107. Cardo, start with you. Just your thoughts on this one, and then Ray.
Yeah, winnable game. Obviously, they were undermanned greatly, but they competed, behind a monster game from Kuz and Porzingis, especially in the first half. And Kuz couldn't miss nothing, even if he tried, man. They had it going offensively, but I could tell with the Clippers, they just stayed within their game plan. They didn't really get rattled or try to play outside themselves. They just stuck with the game plan because the way they were scoring in the first half, I'm talking about Kuzma and Porzingis, you could tell over there on the Clipper side, it's like they're going to cool down. And if we just stay steady, stay close, we'll be able to pull this game out without having to panic and just like Kawhi and Paul George go nuclear. And that's exactly what happened. They cooled off a lot in the second half, and that allowed the Clippers to get back in it. But especially behind Paul George, he got aggressive in the third. The other guys woke up a tune, hit some big threes. Bernard. Obviously John Wall was motivated. He had it going in the second quarter, whatnot to keep it close. Marcus Morris, he had it going as well. The only thing that stopped him was foul trouble. That's the only thing that limited him. So those were the main things that I saw that kind of showed me that this wasn't a foregone conclusion. Even when the Wizards went up 12, you know what I mean? It's like y'all need to be careful. Y'all have a history against the Clippers, especially last year with that 33-point comeback. Bernard went crazy, man. So, they're capable, and they didn't even have their horses, you know what I mean? So, once the Clippers figured them out defensively, figured out how to swarm, and then they obviously felt like in the second half, okay, Kuzma and Porzingis went off in the first half, but no disrespect, who else will be a reliable threat consistently? So let's trap them too every time they got the ball and see if somebody else can beat us. Other guys kind of stepped up. Goodwin hit some shots. Kispert, then he hit a big three, but it wasn't enough for them to get the W, man. So that's all it was, man. Down the stretch, the Clippers executed on both ends better than the Wizards did, even though it was a winnable game for the Wizards.
Right.
Yeah, man, I agree. When they had the first half, they had offensively, and we're only up 3 at the half. That kind of spells trouble, man. When you come out the gate smoking like that, you should be able to have a pretty good handle on the game. I get it. They're down some guys, and the Clippers had their full roster, but even still, you got to be able to take advantage more. When you because at some point there's going to be some aggression to the main. And if you just kind of give yourself a little more cushion, then you can kind of be prepared for that. But like Cardell said, man, the second half, the Clippers adjusted. They clamped down, and then their guys got going. Paul George had a monstrous stretch with Kawhi and John Wall on the bench. So yeah, man, it's definitely a winnable game. This wasn't like sometimes we'll see the final score and it's and it's respectable and close, but it's just not indicative of how the game went. This isn't one of those times. The Wizards were either leading or in control for a good portion of this one. Due to the hot starts from Kuzma and Porzingis, but they just didn't have enough to close it out.
All right, we have to ask player of the game.
For me, it's Paul George. 36, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, only 2 turnovers, 13-27 shooting from the field, 5 and 5 from the line. What more can you ask for, though?
Ray, did you have another candidate or? No?
Nah.
All right, well, you can just start with X Factor.
I go either Marcus Morris Sr. or Luke Kennard, man. Both of those guys had had stretches where they just kind of filled in the gaps. Marcus Morris, he got it going early. Kennard hit some big shots as well. So I'll flip a coin and decide between those two.
All right, Cardell.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Marcus Morris. Like I said, the only thing that contained him was he picked up 3 fouls in the first quarter. But all in all, you saw when he came back in the game, when he picked up those 3 fouls, he had the lead, and Kuzma went crazy. Kuzma had 25 at the half. He only had 10 in the second half total. You know what I mean? And you got to contribute that to Marcus Morris, returning and also his point production. He had 19 and 6 rebounds. And he probably would have had more had he not been in foul trouble because he was cooking right there with Kuz at the beginning. So he picked up those 3 fouls, guarding Porzingis, switching between Porzingis and Kuz, man. That's why they're tough, man. When they figure it out, they're gonna be held to pay. They're gonna be held to pay in the playoffs because, man, seeing them up live, the defensive instincts is not talked about nearly as much in basketball these days. Paul George and Kawhi Leonard is crazy. And I enjoy watching it, man. You throw a lazy pass, lackadaisical pass. Normal lackadaisical pass that you always get through in the league. They're coming from behind, knocking the ball loose, and then you wondering, like, what the hell? So you could just see the Wizards at times like, yo, y'all got to talk. Like, it feels like it's another dude out here, you know what I'm saying? Because they swarm them, and they understand how to get to the ball, deflect passes with the aims. And Marcus Morris is almost on the level with them. He's just underrated. They don't pay attention to him. So I feel like what he provided on both ends, he's definitely the X factor.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I took away from this game was just that stretch in the third quarter. I think close out the third quarter and started the fourth. It was an 18-0 run. It was PG. Like you said, Ray, Kawhi and John were off the floor, but I think Morrissey was on the floor and so was Batum. The 3 of them, what they were able to do switching on defense, the hell that they caused during that stretch was crazy. It was absolutely nuts. And obviously both you guys brought Batum up for, you guys mentioned him, and for a good reason too. I know the Wizards, we saw them going zone a couple times. And the Clippers just they got a bunch of guys that have been there before. They're like, okay, you're going to go zone? We're going to find these corner threes. We're going to knock these things down. And they kept giving them they kept finding corner 3 after corner 3. At first they weren't falling. Next thing you know, it started raining late in the third quarter to close that third quarter, and that was huge. And like you guys mentioned late, we mentioned a little chat. That's tough to ask KP with the Android on him 30 feet from the basket to come up with anything. That's tough. I know he's rusty or whatever. Like, that programming never goes away. And force the air ball.
Yeah, but that goes back to what we've been saying all year. They settle for the easy shots instead of taking their time or something. They wonder why their record is what it is. And another thing what you saying with the corner threes, Kawhi and Paul George, they was getting in the gaps of that zone, elevating from mid-range and lighting them up, and that's what kept them close. Kept them efficient when they couldn't hit threes. So imagine if those shots, the mid-range shots would have been threes. The Wizards would have blew them out. That's what I mean. Shot selection, knowing what shots to take and when to take them is key, especially at this level, man. So you saw right there the difference. The Clippers down the stretch were taking makeable, winning shots that you're comfortable with these guys taking, and at the end you see, Porzingis trying to force up a tough 3 over Kawhi with time left. Like, why? Trying to go for the hero shot. You know what I mean? And then, like, bro, you're not even, and you trying to dribble on them. You 7'3". You know what I mean? There's 6-foot point guards that can't dribble on Kawhi. So why are you trying? So those little things are the reason why the outcome was what it was tonight.
And that's the other thing. They're about to go out west in a little bit. I know they'll see the Clippers again. There's a chance when they see them again, some of the main Clippers guys, not Paul George, are on minute restrictions. Those minute restrictions might be lifted a little bit come next time. But however, again, it was a winnable game. They don't have too much time to dwell on it. They got Brooklyn on Monday night, and then they head out west. Again, we told you guys what this schedule is going to be like. I think Brooklyn rested all their players tonight, essentially. So they should be at full board come Monday. These winnable games, they add up. They add up. Got one. Go ahead, Cardo. about to say?
And real quick, I'm looking at the schedule. They got Philadelphia and Phoenix, their last 2 home games to close out the month. So, yeah, it gets real.
Yeah, like you said, they close out with Philadelphia, Phoenix. They open 23 with Giannis. Again, just
Merry Christmas
and Happy New Year. Those droppable games in November, in the beginning of December.
And Chris Middleton back. So,
I'm sure that won't hurt at all. Anthony Tony with the one comment tonight. Happy we lost this one. Shout out to Wall.
yeah, for sure, man. He got the love that he deserved, man. You know, certain guy that called him unprofessional when he was on his way out the door wasn't in the seat, but that's a whole other conversation. Gotta be man enough to stand there if you won't say it. You know what I mean? But I'm happy for Wall. He literally laid it on the line every time he stepped on the court. Like I said, always professional, treated everybody the same, just solid, man. Nothing bad you can say about that dude. He gave the city everything he got on and off the court. I'm probably a bigger fan of what he did in the community more than what he did on the court, and that's saying a lot. You know what I mean? He had him knocking on the door, get to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since the 70s. And there ain't too many pockets of success with the Wizards and Bullets franchise since that decade. You know what I mean? And he, after the 70s, he has the second best. He has the most successful run. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people want to say Gilden, but Gilden was getting swept by Braun and D Wade and them boys. You know what I'm saying? All had them knocking on the door. It's just injuries and certain things took him out. So, man, much respect to that dude, man. He's how he carried himself as a superstar. People won't bring up all the extracurricular stuff that really is his personal business and stuff like that. But look, man, outside of that, just hooping and being involved in the community and showing love to the DC area, that's how you want the superstars to be for each pro sports team in this area.
Man, epitomize what a franchise player is supposed to be. Last few comments. Of course, I said one last comment, then they file in. Welcome, everyone. Appreciate you guys for getting comments there. Beating the bell. Joshua Cotton firing the shot. Trade every member to Big Three, please, Tommy. He wants the full black button reset. Might be orange. Anthony Tony follows up with, "Tay wasn't there for Big Three night either." Shaking my head.
He probably is. He probably in some nice suite. He probably somewhere in a nice suite.
I saw his son.
Well, you send the guy. You send him. Send the assistant. You know what I mean? The other guy. Take that. We all know.
Yeah.
When John Ball was looking at the crowd talking about this match, y'all have been directed at a certain individual that he sat in that seat. So I'm gonna leave it there. I know personally I would have did that for sure.
And people, oh my goodness, and people have there's people on this team have the IQ of a cucumber. What was that fourth?
Hey, man. Y'all been seeing it all year. The shot selection be crazy.
And that's the craziest part. It damned them. Like against good teams, shot selection to get you out of here. It literally just gets you out of here.
The most frustrating part is it doesn't have to be this way. Like it literally doesn't have to be like this, man.
Yeah, you don't. But the analytics stuff and the boys, hey, man. You see it across the league, bro. It's just that other teams hit those shots a lot more. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
And they defend better. So when they do go on the spurts where they don't miss, it don't look as bad. But it's still bad shots, bro. Like I don't understand why people so. Like I said, if you elite, man, you shooting 40%, you still missing 6 or 10. Like it's a reason. Like you still missing 6 or 10, man. You missing a lot of shots, man.
Oh my God, yeah. At this point, it is what it is. They are what they are. They got to have some pride, look themselves in the mirror, rinse, wash, and repeat that comment. It is evergreen for this year as a whole, just evergreen. Oh, y'all are filing in the comments. All right. Shay with a very good one. Only positive thing, then he can shoot 3-pointers only if it hits the shot clock. Weston started to make me not believe him as a coach from Area 11T.
Starting to. I thought you already jumped off that shit.
Oh, man. But, again, happy that John got the return that he deserved for sure. And then we got it is another example of why these droppable games hurt. Some of these teams that were built to be contenders, they're all low key, quietly starting to get healthy and take steps in the right direction, which is why that the window you had to make up ground on them or have an advantage over them, the fact that you couldn't is going to hurt. It's just simply going to hurt. You're watching some teams kind of sort of get healthy and get going. Y'all think Bill will ever ask for a trade? I'm not messing with that tonight. That's just me. But y'all
I doubt it. Because at this stage, like who can really take on that contract that's in a winning situation? You know what I'm saying? So it'd be counterproductive to go to like a really project team that's even worse than what the Wizards have. You know, that contract seals the deal for a while. You know what I mean? So unless you get some heavy contracts, some heavy players, and I don't think nobody gonna really move that right now.
Yeah, doesn't he have a no trade clause in there too?
I don't know. I gotta look in there. Look it up.
And Area 11T was following up with Coach West. He was just, I've been trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, tonight they won the man. You know, like I'm not gonna give him excuses, man. Sometimes he makes some questionable decisions and stuff like that, but I still look at the players. I'm not one of these people that just always blame the coach, man. You know, it's a player empowerment era, right? So they supposed to know what to do and be professional and do what they need to do, man. You know, you don't need a coach to tell you to close out, box out, rebound, rotate over and stuff like that on defense. That don't require coaching at this level. That's something you need to do at lower levels, grassroots, high school, and stuff like that. So, it's enough blame to go around, but I'm looking at the players a lot more right now.
Oh, same here. Like he's a second-year head coach. The vets on this team have been in the league for far more than 2 years. Help you coach out. Just a little bit. Help you coach out. Shay, so hit the button. Area 11T said, love seeing John hoop tonight, although he got outplayed by Goodwin.
Different roles, baby. They need a good one to get them shots. They have to look. Let's keep it real. After KP and Kuz, get your shots, baby. Like that's those you look at them first and then break down. And then they look, get yours. I'm dead ass serious. Like I mean, who else? Kisper, Denny, Anthony Gill. You know, I'm getting mine up too. You know what I'm saying? I'll be the third option, and I got the start. So whatever. So I did the same thing. But you know, look, Wall playing a different role. This ain't his team anymore. This Kawhi, Paul George, and then he just got set the table with all the weapons they got. So. You know, it don't make sense for him to go nuclear, but trust me, he did enough to let people know it's still there.
Yeah, and like I love that you brought up the roles. His job is to be what they need most of, a freaking facilitator. And he's very good at it. And we saw like during those spurts, you know, they were not on the court. He's in there with the second unit, got them playing up tempo, pushing the pace, changing the game a little bit, delaying the game. You know, we've seen the Clippers in the past where PG and Kawhi got to bring the ball up, take some out of stuff. Helps defenses corral them a little bit. You know, John getting where they need to go. It's a little bit easier, man. It goes a long way. Yeah, that's what happens when players only care about the numbers and make highlight plays. Shea Kuz plays like an all-star. You're on mute, Cardell, if you said something.
Yeah, he put up all-star numbers, but the losses, and you got some competition at that three, maybe at that forward position. The Giannis, the KDs, the Jason Tatum, the Browns, Jimmy, puts Middleton back. You know, like, he can get going against crowded. So yeah, you gotta get those wins up, baby.
Like you guys said, he's playing well, but it's tough decisions. It's tough sledding for players on both sides in both conferences. Like it's real out here on the wing and at the guard positions. It's real. We want to thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see you guys Monday night as the Wizards host the Nets. I think, what is that going to be their third time playing this year? I feel like they're getting most of their games out the way. And, you know, Washington needs to respond. Again, we talk about these winnable games. We'll let y'all know that trip out west is not going to be fun. So it would be nice to get a win at home before they head out west. But y'all have a great evening. As always, appreciate y'all for tuning in.